Hello, welcome back to Brunswick Junction, where today I've got some new goodies and an analogue controller. Yes, that's right, today I'm going to be talking about some of my new acquisitions from the Longfield Model Railway Exhibition by the Sidcup Model Railways Club, which I recently visited on Saturday the 26th of January, and also going to include a mini running session with my two analogue locomotives kindly donated by a friend. So even though it was a very big exhibition, I only spent about £25 of my money since I didn't see any locos that I particularly wanted. But I got some smaller bits. We'll begin with the only real accessory that I got, and I got some CCTV cameras from Plus Daughters model shop, which is rather ironically in Basildon, which is much closer than Longfield to me. But these were £3 for 10, so let me get some of them out of the packet and show you. Here we are in the mini workbench type area. Don't worry, I'm not going to be doing any work to any of the CCTV cameras. I've just brought you down here to give a better view of some of them with the contrast of the white on the green. So, let's get one out of the packet. Okay, that's more than one. Here we are. So, I've tried doing this a couple of times, and the focusing on this camera isn't the best anyway, so apologies for this section. Here we have one of the CCTV cameras. As you can see, this is my finger. It is tiny. They're going to be a nightmare to put on the layout, but as you can see, they're pretty well detailed, and they've got a nice little arm there, and it might be worth painting a small black dot on the edge here to give an impression of the camera, but they're really tricky to handle. So we've got a nice load of them, 10 of them, where I can locate at various points around the layout. And since it is a modern image layout, there are CCTV cameras everywhere nowadays. So it's the little details that make the layout really. So for 30p for one of these, I'd say that's a pretty good bargain I got there. So yes, they'll be positioned at various locations around the layout, mainly on the station probably. So I'll just be painting a black splodge on the end, and they'll be going all around the layout. Incidentally, as I've said before, I got these for £3 from Plus Daughters stall, and bizarrely, they are actually £4.21 on Hattons. So this just shows that sometimes you can get bargains from local retailers. So you may have also seen earlier 3 Oxford diecast boxes. Yes, I did get 3 more vehicles for my layout, as I thought that in terms of vehicle wise on the road there's not many cars and that to be swapped about. So I got some interesting new things to go on the road. As you can see, I accidentally almost bought one from Oxford Commercials, one from the Oxford Agriculture range, and one normal Oxford, not sure what they call them, automobile. So let's have a look at them. So first let's begin with this. I merely bought this for, I think it was £4.70. I just saw it and I thought it was a relatively cheap price. It looked like a nice little car. So I got it. It's an old classic. I have no clue what it is. Apparently it's a Triumph TR4. Okay, so it's like a classic British convertible car. So I thought that would go nicely, as there are still quite a few of these type of cars kind of roaming around the streets with their their tops down and people kind of cruising, going for Sunday drives and things like that. So I thought this would make a nice little addition. Yet again, the focus on these isn't brilliant. Sorry, they're just so small. I also got a tractor vehicle. You can see by the size of my finger, that's how small they are. They're really tiny vehicles, and it's amazing that Oxford can fit so much detail into such a small space, really. But this is an old tractor. Again, I got it for like $4.50 or something, and yeah, I thought that would make a nice little addition, since I've got lots of kind of farmland and got my cows and sheep in the field. So yeah, that's a nice little another interesting vehicle. And finally, for the vehicles, we've got this rather lovely Mercedes ice cream van. Now it's almost rather essential, because there are lots of ice cream vans around heritage railways, normally trying to attract custom from their families that are at the heritage railways. So this will go very nicely near the station. In terms of pricing of these three vehicles, I've already told you roughly what the previous ones were. This one was £5.80. Now, this vehicle on Hatton's costs £5.50, and on the Oxford Diecast website is £6.45. So I got these from Euroscale models. Overall, all three of them were only 55p dearer in total than if I got them from Hatton's. Hatton's prices, you all know, are ridiculously cheap anyway, so it's only 55p dearer than that, and actually £2.10 cheaper than buying direct from Oxford Diecast. So this just shows, I'm pretty sure these are all new, this just shows how it really does pay to have a look around, and you can get better prices, because bearing in mind that Hatton's then charge £2 for delivery, you're £1.45 out of pocket. And also with this, you're supporting a local shop. I'm not entirely sure where Euroscale models are based, but they're not a massive company at all, really. So I always find that I am willing to pay a bit more and support a local shop, but in quite a few instances you can actually get things cheaper. So yes, back on the layout to the trains for the final acquisition, which is this BR Blue Grey Mop One. I've been wanting one of these, or a whole set really, for a while, but I think that I got this for £8, and I think it goes rather nicely with my brake Mark II and one of my standard Mark IIs. So this can either go in the middle or at the front of the set, with the brake Mark II going at the back and the other Mark II in the position that this isn't fitting. So for £8, I think it's in pretty good condition as well. But this is actually going to be one of the sets of coaching stock that's the subject for the mini running session coming up. So yes, the focus of today's mini running session will be the Analogue locos that I rather recently got, very kindly donated. So we've got this nice Lima class, sorry, not Lima, old Hornby Railways, class 47, which then went on to be the Lima tooling, and this rather fantastic schools class. Again, an old Hornby Railways. This is meant to have smoke, but I don't seem to have it working yet. But it's named Stowe, and these two locos will be the subject of this coming mini running session. It won't be that long, and I'll probably put some music over it, as these locos are rather noisy. But I'll be running with that. I'll be running a mixed freight train that you can see in the middle road, and the BR Maroon Mark 1 set, which are both likely to only be hauled by the schools class, and the 47 will take charge of these BR Blue coaches. So sit back and enjoy the show. So there we have it, the mini running session with my Analogue locomotives, and a little update on what I've got recently. I decided only to use the schools class on the freight set, purely because I was having lots of troubles working out the logistics of shunting on DC, because most of my sidings and that don't isolate, so it was a bit of a tricky one. I've had to do this over multiple hours because I've had quite a few teething. I'm sure there are any teething problems, but as I get used to running things in Analogue, a couple of things. I'm not like to buy anything new on Analogue, but until I convert these will stay on Analogue. Yeah, it was quite hard to run them. There'll be a whole other video of outtakes from attempting to run these locos. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.